At Westport High School, Matthew Kidman, an ambitious senior, dreams of a career in politics. With graduation approaching, he finds nothing particularly memorable about his high school years. Though accepted to prestigious Georgetown University, he needs a significant scholarship to attend. As class president, he raised $25,000 to bring a talented Cambodian student named Som Nong to study in the United States. Matthew, along with his friends Eli, a perverted film student, and the shy Klitz, watches as other students head to the beach. Feeling envious and aware of their impending graduation, despite his friends' disapproval, Matthew decides to join them. However, sensing potential trouble, he returns home alone. Upon arriving, Matthew notices a car parked at a neighbor's house. Inside, he meets Mr. and Mrs. Peterson, who inquire about his acceptance to Georgetown University. Matthew explains his need to win a scholarship competition. While taking out the trash, he spots Danielle, a stunning young woman. Captivated by her beauty as she approaches as she is walking toward the house, looking at him, he excitedly tells his friend Eli, who is watching an adult movie, about his admiration for the beautiful woman next door. Matthew witnesses her undressing through the window. As they discuss, Danielle catches sight of Matthew and he quickly hides. Danielle storms over to their house, introduces herself to his parents, and they suggest Matthew show her around town. During their car ride together, sparked by their earlier encounter, Danielle challenges him. He was asked to get off the vehicle. Danielle coerces him into taking his clothes off and forces him to run naked down the street. The following day, while Danielle was drawing, they discussed their personal lives. Danielle revealed she had recently quit her job and was considering going to college. Curious about Matthew's experiences as graduation approached, Danielle asked him about the craziest thing he had done lately. However, he couldn't think of anything. Prompted by this, Danielle invited him to do something together. After giving him her drawing, they headed straight home. During a school lesson, Matthew noticed Danielle discreetly inviting him to skip class. Without hesitation, he joined her. Matthew and Danielle bonded over a series of daring challenges. One night, they spontaneously stopped at a random house. Danielle went inside, and Matthew followed. Assuming no one was home, Danielle decided to swim in the pool, persuading Matthew to join reluctantly. In the midst of their interaction, Danielle asked once more about the craziest thing he had done lately. Just as things were heating up, someone unexpectedly arrived. It was Mr. Salinger, their school principal. They hurriedly left the premises. Later, while Eli and Klitz were watching an adult film, Eli was surprised by Danielle's arrival, followed by Matthew. He introduced Danielle to his friends, who were struck how gorgeous Danielle was. Subsequently, they all decided to attend a party hosted by a classmate, where they are the center of attention because of Danielle's beauty. Later, they encountered Hunter, another classmate of Matthew's. To have Danielle to himself, one of Hunter's friends, Derek, pulled Matthew away, attempting to send him home. Left alone and disheartened by the situation around him, Matthew finally gathered the courage to kiss Danielle, stunning everyone present. Upon arriving at school, Eli immediately approached him and forcibly escorted him to their studio. There, Eli revealed everything about Danielle. Matthew learned through his friend Eli that Danielle was previously an adult film actress known by the stage name Athena. To prove it, Eli played the tape containing one of the shows Danielle starred in. Unable to stomach what he saw, Matthew immediately walked out. With Danielle's true character exposed, Eli advised Matthew to make out with Danielle. When he arrived home, he found Danielle with his mother, looking at his naked photo when he was still young. He still vividly recalled Danielle's performance. He imagined her obscene actions in his mind. Because of this, he immediately entered his room, remembering Danielle's performance once again. Following Eli's advice on how to deal with this unexpected revelation, Matthew accompanies Danielle to a cheap motel. Danielle suspects Matthew has discovered her history and punishes him by performing a striptease and offering herself. When Matthew becomes disturbed and questions why she is demeaning herself for him, Danielle confronts him with his base motives and immediately ends the relationship. He tries to persuade her, but she remains unmoved and quickly leaves Matthew behind. After the incident, he was deeply saddened by the rapid succession of trials that occurred during the short time he and Danielle were together. The next day, Matthew visits Danielle's house seeking to reconcile with her, but then her ex-boyfriend Kelly, an adult film producer, suddenly appears. At that point, Danielle and Kelly have errands, and Matthew insists on joining them. The three go to a strip club. Danielle is displeased with Matthew's strange behavior, so she decides to go to the bathroom. Later, Mr. Peterson arrives, and Kelly immediately calls him to let him know that Matthew is with them. While they are watching a sex education video, Eli suggests that he wants to create a similar show because he believes his concept would be better. Kelly accompanies him to the bank to deposit $25,000 into the Operation Get Somnong account. Jeannie congratulates him for raising the money he needed for Somnong. Later, Matthew notices Kelly flirting with Jeannie, which amazes him. Matthew discovers that Danielle is returning to her previous profession and is leaving for Las Vegas with Kelly. Matthew, filled with shame and remorse, follows Danielle to Las Vegas. Inside, Eli was amazed by the celebrities he saw because he knew many of them. He couldn't help but take videos of them. Because of this, the guard reprimanded him for taking videos, as press was not allowed inside. Eli insisted that he would only use the footage for his high school yearbook video. The group sees Danielle performing at the conference, prompting Matthew to approach her to apologize and express his feelings for her. Because of this, Danielle immediately walked out, where she met Hugo Posh, also a producer in the industry. Hugo encouraged Danielle and offered her a job opportunity in exchange for being on top. Their conversation was interrupted when Kelly arrived and noticed Matthew's presence. Upset, Danielle decided to send Matthew home. They went to the kitchen together, where Kelly threatens Matthew not to interfere with his business. Matthew ignores him, and attempted to find her until 2 a.m. While Eli and Klitz were relaxing, they were approached by a beautiful woman who was also a star. Eli introduced themselves as directors. The woman offered to be an actress in their show. However, her boyfriend Mule arrived and endorsed his girlfriend to be used in their upcoming movie. To convince them, Mule encouraged them to touch his girlfriend's chest, and Klitz followed suit. However, the guard arrived and informed them that they were just high school students. Because of this, the two quickly ran away while being chased by Mule. Before going home, he approached Danielle to convince her to leave her past behind, and he handed her the drawing that touched her heart. The next day, Danielle arrived, indicating that she would not continue with her previous job. Before entering class, Matthew took the opportunity to ask Danielle to be his date for their prom. During the lesson, Kelly suddenly stormed in, furious, to confront him. Kelly kidnapped him from school and physically attacked him, giving him a tablet to calm him down. Kelly claimed that Danielle's failure to arrive on set cost him $30,000. Kelly offered to help him pay off his debt by breaking into rival producer Hugo Posh's home and stealing an Oscar trophy. However, once Matthew entered the property, Kelly reported a robbery and disappeared. Matthew narrowly avoided the cops and was rescued by his friends. Danielle noticed the effects of the medication that Kelly had given Matthew. Together with Danielle, he attended his scholarship award dinner while high on ecstasy, which Kelly claimed was aspirin. During his speech, he improvised a very emotive speech, endearing himself to Danielle and expressing his feelings for her. Because of this, he gained admiration from everyone, especially Danielle. However, he lost the scholarship to a kid who resembled nothing more than Matthew's passionless, free Danielle's self. Kelly subsequently recoups his investment by taking the $25,000 Matthew raised to bring Somnong, a brilliant Cambodian kid, to study in the United States. Matthew had already introduced Kelly to the bank personnel as his student advisor but did not want to divulge his connections to the adult film industry. Although Matthew had done nothing wrong, he was concerned that he might be expelled or charged with a crime for his unintentional involvement in the fraud, so he sought Danielle's assistance. Danielle promised to help him, insisting that they are a tripod. Kicking out one of their legs, they fell down. Klitz was convinced to join them. Danielle gathered a few acquaintances from her former co-workers to use them for the upcoming project. The two went to Hugo to discuss the project aimed at fundraising the money for Somnong. On prom day, the group went to Danielle's house, picked up his stunning prom date, Danielle. Meanwhile, April and Ferrari were introduced to be Eli and Klitz's prom dates. The group arrived at the prom, where they became the main attraction of the event. A professor questioned them about the camera, and Matthew insisted that they were going to use it for their video yearbook. While dancing to sweet music, Danielle thanked him because she wouldn't have attended the prom if it weren't for Matthew. After that, Hunter couldn't resist and, along with his group, approached the couple Matthew and Danielle. To make them jealous, Danielle kissed Matthew. Hunter suggested that he wanted to meet the stars who were with Matthew. Matthew offered Hunter and his group the chance to be co-actors in the video they were making. Without hesitation and with excitement, they accepted the offer. They agreed to film a video for Hugo Posh on prom night and on school grounds. However, a problem arose because Derek couldn't handle his role. If they couldn't complete the content, Hugo might not buy it. Because of this, Matthew decided that they would take over the role. As he was about to enter the set, he suddenly remembered Danielle. Because of this, he couldn't perform the role. Since they were a tripod, Klitz volunteered to take on the role. And they left the event having successfully completed the project. Following the successful filming, they had a celebration. After Eli is dropped off with a master copy of the tape, she asked him again, on what's the craziest thing he's done lately. Danielle and Matthew share their intimate encounter for the first time in the limousine. The following morning, an enraged Eli called him and informed him that the tape was missing. Matthew was startled to see Kelly sitting at the dining room table with his parents and the principal of the school, holding the tape he took from Eli's house. Kelly requests a private meeting with Matthew and threatens to play the tape right away if he doesn't receive half of the proceeds. Matthew declines, arguing that Somnong is the legitimate owner of the money. Kelly issues another threat, but Matthew defends himself and issues a challenge, declaring that he has given up on his now ruined future. It becomes evident as the tape plays that Matthew and his buddies have produced a full, progressive sex education tape as opposed to a pornographic movie. After watching the video, everyone was amazed, including the principal, who insisted that it would be a great help in reducing teenage pregnancy. Copies of the video were immediately distributed and shown in schools. The video brings Hugo Posh and Matthew millions of dollars, also even Kelly. While Matthew has enough money to attend Georgetown and bring Danielle to Washington, D.C., Hugo Posh honors his promise and pays for Somnong to travel to the United States. Eli becomes a successful filmmaker. Klitz attends college and is pleased to learn that his classmates revel at his scene in the film. In the last scene, Matthew drives a BMW Z4 into Georgetown University. At the conclusion of his story, Matthew gets his wish, a future with the girl of his dreams. For more videos similar to this, don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications. Thank you for watching.